Thank you so much to the previous speakers who have shared a lot about Ubuntu. How can we best integrate Ubuntu in social and development services in Africa? And how do we promote the adoption of Ubuntu as an overall philosophy for Africa, as well as the internationalization of Ubuntu? So this whole book, to me, it's a masterpiece. It's one of its kind that integrates African indigenous knowledge into social services and development. So the whole book, actually, it's a perfect masterpiece. But for the purpose of this presentation, I have just selected chapter 4, which focuses on the history of social services and social work in Africa. The reason why I'm so much interested in this topic is that when I did my undergraduate studies at the University of Zimbabwe studying social work, like what Dr. Charlotte said, that much of the books that we were reading, that were exposed, were borrowed from the West. They were borrowed from I was commenting on chapter 4, that is the history of social services and social work in Africa, to say that the books that are in our shelves, in our library shelves here in Africa, they are borrowed from the US and Great Britain. They emphasize more on the works of Mary Richmond, Jane Addams, and other social workers from the West. But this book now gives us a vivid account of African social workers and their contribution to the development of social services and development work in Africa. So this chapter emphasizes more on the Ghanaian word, which is Sankofa, which reminds us to always go back into the history and take what is useful and use that knowledge in order to inform the present and the future trajectory of social services. So yeah, this is the summary of key aspects of Ubuntu in this chapter, reference to Sankofa, a Ghanaian word. Next slide, Doc.
Yes.
And my key reflection in this whole book is that Ubuntu is not just, decolonization is not just a buzzword, but it is a complex and significant process of dismantling the effects of colonization on social services and social work, as well as the broader development work in Africa and other parts of the world. So this whole book in the coming years, I do believe that it should become a Bible for learners, educators, and practitioners, which they should religiously use in order to guide the provisions of social and development services that are embedded in the indigenous knowledge and practices of the communities they serve. Unlike to wholesomely borrow Western philosophies, this book now presents the alternative African indigenous knowledge systems that we can use to provide social services. So authoring this book to me was so healing, and it was an explorative journey spiced by back and forth movements. I believe that we started this book around 2021, and 5 years down the line, this book is now published, which is what Mr. Boa said, the aha moment for us. So I just appreciate the efforts that I get from the colleagues, the authors, the co-authors, and everyone who participated in the completion of this book project. And my message to other and future authors is that do it now. Yes, do it now. If you have an idea that is in your head, write it down. Ask someone who is maybe like-minded to that idea and come collaborate, as Dr. Tusasirwe said, that you need to collaborate. So we need to collaborate more in order to produce more publications.